Kochi, also known as Kochi, is a major port city on the southwest coast of India by the Arabian Sea in the Laccadive Sea and is part of the district of Ernakulam in the state of Kerala. It is often called Ernakulam, which refers to the mainland part of the city, with a corporation limit population of 612,343, a metropolitan population of 2.1 million. It is the second largest city and the largest urban agglomeration in Kerala. Kochi city is also a part of the Greater Cochin region and is classified as a Tier 2 city by the Government of India. The civic body that governs the city is the Kochi Municipal Corporation, which was constituted in the year 1967, and the statutory bodies that oversee its development the Greater Cochin Development Authority and the Goshri Islands Development Authority. Kochi, also known as the Queen of the Arabian Sea, was an important spice trading center on the west coast of India from the 14th century onward, and maintained a trade network with Arab merchants from the pre-Islamic era. Occupied by the Portuguese in 1503, Kochi was the first of the European colonies in colonial India. It remained the main seat of Portuguese India until 1530, when Goa was chosen instead. The city was later occupied by the Dutch and the British, with the Kingdom of Kochi becoming a princely state. Kochi ranks first in the total number of international and domestic tourist arrivals in Kerala. Kochi has been ranked the 6th best tourist destination in India according to a survey conducted by the Nielsen Company on behalf of the Outlook Traveler magazine. Kochi was one of the 28 Indian cities found to be among the emerging 440 global cities that will contribute 50% of the world GDP by the year 2025. In a 2011 study done by the McKinsey Global Institute, Kochi is the home to Southern Naval Command of the Indian Navy and the state headquarters of the Indian Coast Guard with an attached air squadron, named Air Squadron 747. Commercial maritime facilities of the city include the Port of Kochi, an international container transshipment terminal, the Kochi Shipyard, offshore SPM of the BPCL Kochi Refinery, and the Kochi Marina. Kochi is also home for the Kochi Stock Exchange, International Pepper Exchange, industries like HMT, Cyber City, Kinfra High-Tech Park, major chemical industries like the TCC, IREL, Petronet LNG, Merchem, HOCL and Kochi refineries, electrical industries like TELK and industrial parks like the Kochi Special Economic Zone, Smart City and Info Park. Kochi is home for the High Court of Kerala and Laccadive Naval Physical and Oceanographic Laboratory, Indian Maritime University, SREE Sankara Sanskrit University and the Kochi University of Science and Technology. Kochi is also home for Kerala's National Law School, the National University of Advanced Legal Studies. Ancient travelers and tradesmen referred to Kochi in the writings, variously alluding to it as Kosim, Kokum, Kochi, and Kochi. The Kochi Jewish community called Kochi as Kogan, which is seen in the seal of the synagogue, which is still owned by the community. The origin of the name Kochi is thought to be from the Malayalam word Kochuaja, meaning small lagoon. Yet another theory is that Kochi is derived from the word Casi, meaning harbor. Accounts by Italian explorers Niccolo Conti and Fra Paolini in the 17th century say that it was called Kochi, named after the river connecting the backwaters to the sea. After the arrival of the Portuguese, and later the British, the name Kochi stuck as the official appellation. The city reverted to a closer anglicization of its original Malayalam name, Kochi, in 1996. This change in name was challenged by the city municipal corporation, and officially, the city is still called Kochi. History. Kochi was the center of Indian spice trade for many centuries, and was known to the Yavanas as well as Jews, Syrians, Arabs, and Chinese since ancient times. Kochi rose to significance as a trading center after the port Museries around Kodungallur was destroyed by massive flooding of Periyar in 1341. The earliest documented references to Kochi occur in books written by Chinese voyager Ma Wan during his visit to Kochi in the 15th century as part of Admiral Zheng He's treasure fleet. There are also references to Kochi in accounts written by Italian traveller Niccolò da Conti, who visited Kochi in 1440. According to many historians, the precursor state to Kingdom of Kochi came into existence in early 12th century, after the fall of the Chera kingdom. The reign of the kingdom was hereditary, and the family that ruled over the region was known as the Parampada Swarupam in the local vernacular. Portuguese navigator Pedro Álvares Cabral founded the first European settlement in India at Kochi in 1500. From 1503 to 1663, Fort Kochi was ruled by Portugal. This Portuguese period was a harrowing time for the St. Thomas Christians and the Jews, as the Inquisition was active in Portuguese India. Kochi hosted the grave of Vasco da Gama, the first European explorer to set sail for India, who was buried at St. Francis Church until his remains were returned to Portugal in 1539. The Portuguese rule was followed by that of the Dutch, who renamed Fort Emmanuel as Fort Stormsburg. In meantime, the royal family of Kochi relocated the capital of Kochi Kingdom to Thrissur, leaving nominal authority over islands of Kochi. The remaining part of Kochi were governed by governors of Kochi Kingdom. By 1773, the Mysore ruler Hyder Ali extended his conquest in the Malabar region to Kochi, forcing it to become a tributary of Mysore. The hereditary prime ministership of Kochi held by the Palaya Thakins ended during this period. Meanwhile, the Dutch, fearing an outbreak of war on the United Provinces, signed the Anglo-Dutch Treaty of 1814 with the United Kingdom, under which Kochi was ceded to the United Kingdom in exchange for the island of Bangka. However, there are evidences of English habitation in the region even before the signing of the treaty. In 1866, Fort Kochi became a municipality, and its first municipal council seating contest was conducted in 1883. The Maharaja of Kochi, in 1896, initiated local administration by forming town councils in Mattancherry and Ernakulam. In 1907, the governor of the Madras Presidency, Sir Arthur Lawley, and his brother, Bailby Lawley, 3rd Baron Wenlock, governor of Madras, 1891 to 1896, left for an official tour of Kochi and Travancore, which lasted from the 25th of January to the 14th of February. On the 26th of January, they were met by His Highness the Raja of Kochi, who gave a state dinner in their honor at Ernakulam. By 1870s, the capital of Kochi Kingdom was relocated again to Kochi suburb of Tripunithura. In 1910, Ernakulam became the administrative capital of Kochi Kingdom with establishment of Royal Secretariat and State Urba. The offices of Divan and High Court were soon moved into Ernakulam. In 1925, Kochi Legislative Assembly was constituted due to public pressure on the state. Towards the early 20th century, trade at the port had increased substantially, and the need to develop the port was greatly felt. Harbour engineer Robert Bristow was brought to Kochi in 1920 under the direction of Lord Willingdon, then the Governor of Madras. In a span of 21 years, he transformed Kochi as one of the safest harbours in the peninsula, where ships berthed alongside the newly reclaimed inner harbour equipped with a long array of steam cranes. In 1947, when India gained independence from the British colonial rule, Kochi was the first princely state to join the Indian Union willingly. In 1949, Travancore-Kochi state came into being with the merger of Kochi and Travancore. The King of Travancore was the Raj Pramuch of the Travancore-Kochi Union from 1949 to 1956. Travancore-Kochi was in turn merged with the Malabar district of the Madras state. Finally, the Government of India's States Reorganisation Act inaugurated a new state, Kerala, incorporating Travancore-Kochi, Malabar district, and the taluk of Kasaragod, South Kanara. On the 9th of July 1960, the Mattincherry Council passed a resolution, which was forwarded to the government, requesting the formation of a municipal corporation by combining the existing municipalities of Fort Kochi, Mattincherry and Ernakulam. The government appointed a commission to study the feasibility of the suggested merger. Based on its report, the Kerala Legislative Assembly approved the corporation's formation. On the 1st of November 1967, exactly 11 years since the establishment of the state of Kerala, the Corporation of Kochi came into existence. The merger leading to the establishment of the corporation was between the municipalities of Ernakulam, Mattincherry and Fort Kochi, along with that of the Willingdon Island, 4 panchayats, and the small islands of Gundu and Ramanthura. Kochi and Ernakulam district formed on the 1st of April 1958, carving areas of erstwhile Travancore-Kochi Malabar kingdoms. Major portion of the district is from the Kochi kingdom. The city's economic growth gathered momentum after economic reforms in India introduced by the central government in the early 1990s. Since 2000, the service sector has energized the city's economy. The establishment of several industrial parks based on IT and other port-based infrastructure triggered a construction and realty boom in the city. Over the years, Kochi has witnessed rapid commercialization, and has today grown into the commercial hub of Kerala. Geography and climate. Geography. Kochi is located on the southwest coast of India at 9.967 degrees north, 76.217 degrees east, 9.967, 76.217, spanning an area of 94.88 square kilometers. The city straddles the backwaters, encompassing the northern end of a peninsula, several islands and a portion of the mainland. To the west lies the Laccadive Sea, and to the east is the urbanized region in the rest of the mainland area. Much of Kochi lies at sea level, with a coastline of 48 kilometers. The current metropolitan limits of Kochi include the mainland Ernakulam, Fort Kochi, the suburbs of Edapalli, Kalamassery and Kakinad to the northeast, Tripunithura to the southeast, and a group of islands closely scattered in the Vembanadley. Most of these islands are very small, varying in area from 6 square kilometers to less than 1 square kilometer. The state government and the GCDA have plans to include Malankodungalur in Thrissur district, and Garmali, Perambavur, Piravam and Kolancheri in Ernakulam district, Thalayalaparambu and Vaikom in Kottayam and Chertala in Alipura district within Kochi metropolitan limits. The newly formed metropolis would be put under the charge of a new authority called Kochi Metropolitan Regional Development Authority. However, The Hindu reported that the state government is yet to take any concrete steps in this regard. Soil consists of sediments such as alluvium, terraced brown sands, etc. Hydromorphic saline soils are also found in the areas surrounding the backwaters. Predominant rock types found here are Archean basic dikes, charnokites and gneisses. An ecologically sensitive area, the Mangalavanam Bird Sanctuary, is located in the central part of the city. It has a wide range of mangrove species and is a nesting ground for a vast variety of migratory birds. Kochi's water needs are entirely dependent on groundwater and the two rivers flowing through the district, viz. Periyar and Muvattupuzha. Periyar serves the entire northern part of the city, whereas Muvattupuzha, a river under the JNNURM project, covers the West Kochi, East Kochi and parts of Chertala Taluk under the Japan Water Project scheme. Climate. Under the Köppen climate classification, Kochi features a tropical monsoon climate. Kochi's proximity to the equator along with its coastal location results in little seasonal temperature variation, with moderate to high levels of humidity. Annual temperatures range between 23 and 31 degrees Celsius, with the record high being 36.5 degrees Celsius and record low 16.3 degrees Celsius. From June to September, the southwest monsoon brings in heavy rains as Kochi lies on the windward side of the Western Ghats. From October to December, Kochi receives lighter rain from the northeast monsoon, as it lies on the leeward side. Average annual rainfall is 2,978.0 mm, with an annual average of 125 rainy days. Civic administration. The city is administered by the Kochi Corporation, headed by a mayor. For administrative purposes, the city is divided into 74 wards, from which the members of the Corporation Council are elected for 5 years. Earlier, Fort Kochi, Mattancherry and Ernakulam were the three municipalities in Kochi area, which was later merged to form the Kochi Corporation. The corporation has its headquarters in Ernakulam and zonal offices at Fort Kochi, Mattancherry, Palarudhi, Attapalli, Vadathala and Vaitila. The general administration of the city is handled by the Personnel Department and the Council Standing Committee section. Other departments include that of Town Planning, Health, Engineering, Revenue and Accounts. The corporation is also responsible for waste disposal and sewage management. The city produces more than 600 tons of waste per day, and a large portion of waste is decomposed at Brahmapuram soil waste plant into organic manure. The supply of potable water, sourced from the Periyar River, is handled by Kerala Water Authority with support of Waterworks Department of Kochi Corporation. Electricity is provided by the Kerala State Electricity Board. The GCDA and GID are the government agencies initiating and monitoring the development of Greater Kochi area, mainly in developing infrastructure facilities for the city. Law and order. Kochi is the seat of High Court of Kerala, the highest judicial body in the state of Kerala. The Kochi City Police is headed by a police commissioner, an Indian Police Service officer. The city is divided into 5 zones and each zone under a circle officer. Apart from regular law and AMP, or order, the city police comprises the traffic police, narcotics cell, riot horse, armed reserve camps, District Crime Records Bureau and a women's police station. It operates 19 police stations functioning under the Home Ministry of Government of Kerala. An anti-corruption branch of the Central Bureau of Investigation also operates out of the city. CISF maintains 3 squadrons for providing security to various central and state heavy industries, airport and seaport zones. Other major central agencies are near, dry and Indian Customs due to the presence of major port. According to National Crime Records Bureau, Kochi reported significant increase of 193.7% IPC crimes in 2010 compared to 2009, and reported a crime rate of 1,897.8 compared to the 424.1 in whole Kerala. However, Kochi police officials defended that in major crimes such as murders and kidnapping, the city registered a low crime rate even behind other cities in the state. Politics. Kochi is part of the Ernakulam Lok Sabha constituency in Indian Parliament. The current elected Member of Parliament representing the constituency is Professor K.V. Thomas of Indian National Congress. The Ernakulam Lok Sabha constituency elects 6 members to the state legislative assembly. Out of this, 5 constituencies, namely Kochi, Ernakulam, Thripunithura, Srikakulam and Kalamassery, represent the city. Economy. Kochi is widely referred to as the commercial capital of Kerala. Kochi is home to Kochi Stock Exchange, the only stock exchange in Kerala. Federal Bank, the 4th largest private sector bank in India, is located in Aluva, which is a suburb of Kochi. Being a major online trading center in the country, Kochi has a newly opened SEBI office. Availability of electricity, fresh water, long coastline, backwaters, good banking facilities, presence of a major port, container transshipment terminal, harbor terminal and an international air terminal are some of the factors which accelerated the industrial growth in the city and its adjoining district. In recent years the city has witnessed heavy investment, thus making it one of the fastest-growing second-tier metro cities in India. Sales tax income generated in the Kochi metropolitan area contributes heavily to state revenue. The district contributes the highest portion, 14.47%, of the state's GDP. Construction and manufacturing combined contributes 37%, and trade, tourism and hospitality together provides another 20%. Major business sectors include construction, manufacturing, shipbuilding, transportation, shipping, seafood and spices exports, chemical industries, information technology, tourism, health services, and banking. Kochi is recognized as one of the 17 major industrial cities of India by World Bank Doing Business Group. However, in the 2009 rankings of ease to start and operate a business, among the 17 Indian cities selected, Kochi was rated as the second most difficult city to start business and was ranked 16th, above Kolkata. As in most of Kerala, remittances from non-resident Indians is a major source of income. Ellore, situated 17 kilometers north of the city centre, is the largest industrial belt in Kerala, with more than 250 factories manufacturing a range of products including chemical and petrochemical products, pesticides, rare earth elements, rubber processing chemicals, fertilizers, zinc and chromium compounds, and leather products. Fertilizers and chemicals. Travancore Limited, one of the oldest fertilizers and chemical industry in Kerala, is located in Kochi. Kochi Refineries of Atambalamugal is one of the largest oil refining facilities in South India. Petronet India has now almost completed Kochi LNG terminal, for importing and storing natural gas, for energy and fueling needs. Central government establishments like the Coconut Development Board, the Coir Board and the Marine Products Export Development Authority have head offices located in city. Kalamazoo, which is situated around 16.5 kilometers from the city center, is one of the major industrial areas. Leading factories like FACT, HMT and IT, biotechnology park like INFRA High-Tech Park are located here. The headquarters of NERA Development Center is located at Kalamazoo. The Kochi University of Science and Technology is located at Kalamazoo. Irampalam is another major industrial area in Kochi. The Seaport Airport Road passes through this place, and oil giants like Indian Oil Corporation, Bharat Petroleum and Hindustan Petroleum have plants here. Like elsewhere in Kerala, tourism is one of the strongest drivers of the local economy. Ernakulam district, in which Kochi is situated, ranks first in the total number of domestic tourists visiting Kerala, and thus contributes to the economy of the city. The tourist enclave at Fort Kochi and presence of several historical monuments, museums etc., as well as natural attractions like the Vembanad Lake and the backwaters attract large number of tourists to the city. Presence of several leading hospitality brands have been a major source of employment for locals. The Kochi port is one of the leading ports where international cruisers call on regularly. The city has the first marina facility in the country, Kochi Marina, which attracts large number of yacht owners. Real estate industry is also one industry which is contributing a lot to the economy of Kochi. Many players have entered the market and have developed residential properties. Kochi is the headquarters of the Southern Naval Command, the primary training center of the Indian Navy. The Kochi shipyard contributes to the economy of the city. The fishing harbor at Thopumpady is a minor fishing port in the state and supplies fish to local and export markets. To further tap the potential of the all-season harbor at Kochi, an international cruise terminal and several marinas are being constructed. Exports and allied activities are also important contributors to the city's economy. The Kochi port currently handles export and import of container cargo at its terminal at Willingdon Island. The International Container Transshipment Terminal operating out of Valappadam is India's largest transshipment terminal. Kochi Port Trust also planning to build an outer harbour near Puthuvi. Kochi's historical reliance on trade continues into modern times, as the city is a major exporter of spices and is home to the International Pepper Exchange, where black pepper is globally traded. The Spices Board of India and World Spice Organization are headquartered in Kochi. The IT and ITES-related industries are growing up in Kochi. Availability of cheap bandwidth through undersea cables and lower operational costs compared to other major cities in India has been to its advantage. Various technology and industrial campuses, including the government-promoted Info Park, Kochi Special Economic Zone and KINFRA Export Promotion Industrial Park operate in the outskirts of the city. Several new industrial campuses are under construction in the suburbs of the city. Smart City at Kakinad is the prominent project under proposal. Cyber City at Kalamazoo is another integrated IT township SEZ being planned in the private sector. Kochi has an established electronics hardware industry with companies such as V-Guard Industries, OEN India Limited, FCI OEN Connectors and SFO Technologies. The government of Kerala has announced a project to build an industrial park named Electronic City spanning an area of 340 acres, to cater to the electronic hardware industries. The private operator Nest is building a special economic zone specifically for electronics hardware spanning an area of 30 acres. The Kochi International Airport is in the process of setting up an aerotropolis at Nedumbassery.